Hey everybody, this is Aaron Maslow with the Quick and Slow Comedy Show. Just wanted to give you a quick introduction today because Nick said I should. What you got today is a nice show, and the show is going to feature Sterling Scott. He is going to be taping his special, Jokeaholic, Funny When Drunk. That's coming up on Sunday, January 17th at the Citadel Theater. He's going to talk to Jamie, Nick, and James about some special stuff in comedy, specifically the 3 shows that he's running every week, the fact that you just have to accept bombing when you're performing, and then we're going to find out how Nick gets stabbed. Yeah, and also a lot about porn. The stabbing and the porn may or may not be related. Anyway, this is a pretty good episode and very funny. Sterling is charming and charismatic, so we know you're going to enjoy it. Have a great listen. What the hell does that mean?
So Sterling, you been doing comedy for a while. You were around before I was. Before I even fucking knew about it.
Been doing stand-up now for 8 years. 8 years in September.
Jeez. Seems like every year it gets more and more.
Kind of how age works, right?
Okay, yeah. Oh.
Nick's still learning time. So
yeah, still figure. I don't read a lot of calendars. But you've basically won every contest around town.
Oh, yeah, no, in Edmonton.
I hate to stop and
I'll tell you why.
Soak it in there.
There was a moment where I went through all the losses that I have.
Yeah.
I have a lot of losses. I lose a lot. But then I was like, oh, yeah, no, in Edmonton I did. In Edmonton, all we have is what, really? We have Young Guns.
Young Guns, Funniest Person with a Day Job.
Which is the Edmonton Comedy Festival. I won that one in its first year. Then we have...
Funniest Person with a
Day Job. I lost that 3 years in a row.
Wow.
Then I was banned from it for 2 years.
Oh.
And then on my 6th year of comedy, I was knocking out first years like, come on, rookies, step on. It was really not fair. I shouldn't have even been in that one.
You were punch kicking all these people that didn't know how to work it.
It was not fair. I shouldn't have been in that one. I'll admit that.
In fairness, at what point did you have a day job? Because you make money off this.
Now, here's the funny thing is, I've been professional for the last 4 years and some change. So you're correct. At the time of the day job show, I technically did not have a day job, but I did. See, during the time frame, an alarm company hired me to come in every day and film funny videos.
Wait, an alarm company?
I swear to you.
For what?
I swear to you.
Presents?
They paid me $1,000 a week to come in every morning at 10 a.m. and film a funny video. And then what they would do is, I'm not lying. I am not lying. And this was happening at the exact same time. So my actual day job was that I worked for an alarm company.
But to do, like, what were these videos for?
My job was to come. Oh, okay. So basically what it is
what you're doing, but why?
They, sell alarms around the province.
Yeah.
So actually across the country.
Sure.
So what they do is they break apart their teams. They take them to small developing neighborhoods, which is funny. When you say developing neighborhoods in Canada, it's rich new neighborhoods.
Yeah, that's a completely different word.
Yeah. But the developing neighborhoods that are like, when they sprout up a whole new neighborhood, right? They'll go in there and they will sell alarms to the people that are moving in there. Now, this is all across the country. And then they stay in hotels. There's no television sometimes where they are, and they're constantly moved. So the only form of entertainment they have is what the alarm company provides them. So we did podcasts, we did competitions.
Wait, hold on, but why not like get a DVD collection? Like, don't get me wrong, you're funny, Sterling, but I don't get the logic of like we could spend $1,000 on DVDs or hire Sterling for $1,000 a week, which makes more sense.
They had approximately, all right, so it's 12 leaders. You're talking about approximately 300 people spread across the entire country. And what they would do was just simply give them Wi-Fi. Mm-hmm. Wherever they were, they always had Wi-Fi. And they would let them watch these commercials and stuff that I made. I made commercials. I made things all related to the company. so that they stayed like, and then I would also be their commercials to promote, hey guys, so this week, whoever walks the most, like, I'm not even joking. I'm not even joking. There was competitions where it's like, how many doors can you knock in a day? And if you won, you would win an iPad.
Is this like one of those vacuum companies where almost you don't get paid any money except for every sale you make?
security alarm guys come to my door
100%.
before.
These are bad people.
Yes, that's why I didn't say their name. So they're coming to a neighborhood near you. But
I was gonna say they send their people in, they break into all the houses, they come by afterwards, and go, oh boy, you really should get an alarm.
You'd be surprised the classes that they give to these kids. Like they legitimately teach them how to make people say yes.
Oh yeah,
like they've flown in people that they paid like $5,000 for one class.
That's 5 weeks of sterling.
So, you know,
what a deal.
It's
Why
a great deal.
doing this class?
Because I didn't know how to make them say yes to $5,000 a week. Apparently, you can make them say yes.
You should have taken that class.
Or something.
So they would have classes where because they're like, you're selling alarms door to door. They know that nobody wants it. They know this. They know what they're going into. But they'll teach you how to make people say yes. And they had a class teaching you to do that.
Wow.
Like make people feel real uncomfortable till you leave.
Well, what it was asking questions to direct you to say yes. Yeah. So one of the skills was making you say yes 3 times before I asked you anything about the alarms.
Kind of like with comedy, you make the audience clap 3 times at the start of a show.
Or the guy from Casting Couch. He does exactly what? The guy from Casting Couch, if you ever see how he talks,
Sterling,
he directs them into the act.
Sterling, we don't have time to talk about your PhD thesis. We understand you studied this. You've done the work. No, this is
hours of research.
I love that you like immediately had like, no, guys, here's the best example.
Well, if you've ever seen that guy's brilliant. He's brilliant. That guy's a genius. I
feel like those are set up in advance, though.
They are set up to an extent. Okay. Like they know what they're walking into. They know what they're doing. But all they know is they're coming in for a casting.
No, I don't buy this.
See, the whole thing is they know they're getting into porno. Can get into lots of stuff. Like the only thing is they're like, oh, you're coming for a casting. We need blood work done. Yeah, because they have to do like an STD check beforehand.
Yes, mandatorily.
They might know something's up if they've ever been to a casting call before.
They have to fuck somebody.
Yeah, well, or either that, or they're just really desperate for work, like most actors.
A lot of them are. Have you seen one of the outtakes one where he's just insulting them?
But the thing is, you have to sign off afterwards, right?
Or before.
I don't know.
Because I'll tell you why before because of what Nick said, which is that you have to have the test to prove.
But you're not. But you have to give like you need to know what you're signing on for.
See, I've got a foot.
I've seen only smart people.
James,
that's true. I probably haven't watched enough of these with the careful eye of Sterling Scott, intricately dissecting every moment.
See, I've got
You guys are watching it for all different reasons. I'm like, now that is a brilliant way to talk to somebody.
Yeah. See, the seven. What is it? The 7 skills of effective pornographers, or what is this?
Oh my goodness! I would call the 7 deadly lessons.
Yeah, exactly. What was that book?
See, 7 habits of highly effective
pornographers.
Yeah.
Really? I'm going to read that book.
My mom got me 7 habits for highly effective teens as a child because I wasn't effective enough.
Are you serious? Your mom got you that? Yeah. I would have got her chicken soup for the fuck you. Like, that's what
but in fairness, Jamie is still a very effective teen.
Yeah.
Jamie is a very effective adult. Shout outs to you and what you've been doing over at, can I say the company name?
What have I been doing? Oh, yeah.
What have I been doing?
What do I do? What do I do?
She's so effective, she doesn't know she's doing it.
Yeah,
I think you're doing a great job over at Yuck Yucks, what I call the revival. Is what I call it, because it's been dead for a while. I seen when it went from the Londonderry Mall to when there was downtown on White Ave. Oh no, that was Laugh Shop.
Laugh Shop was White Ave.
Oh my God.
I went from
not existent to when it was at the casino, and the casino used to just they didn't care basically, and so you'd walk in and you'd be like, oh, this is gonna be hell. But I went down the other day when Sonny Dollywall was there, and it was a great show. Like, it was a great time. Yeah. And so shout outs, kudos to you and what you're doing there. Good job.
Really improved it.
Well, Sonny's a goddamn murder machine. That guy's fucking.
But the audience is what I'm saying. He's funny no matter what. Yeah. But the audience, they were there to have a good time. When I was there back in the day, I could tell you exactly what it was. They were the people that got tickets who lost money.
Yeah,
that's the last kind of people you want watching comedy.
That's like comedy at a funeral, man.
Yeah, it pretty much is. It's horrible. The only people laughing are sadistic people who I want to hang out with.
Yeah, exactly.
But apparently, I'll get punched in the face by the other people.
They're the downward spiral people.
But yeah, no, it was horrible, and that's why I didn't go anymore. I didn't go anymore for that reason, and I went back, and I'm like, Jeepers Creepers, I need to come back here.
You give out enough free stuff, then people start realizing you exist.
But also the way you cater to the room. You know, you guys show that you care.
We do.
I feel it. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But anyway, sorry, we got off topic there. I just want to say shout out.
It's no big deal. Good
job.
I just like compliments.
But yeah, we were talking about, how effective you were at porn, apparently. Is that what we were talking about?
No.
Yeah. Jamie is one of the best.
Effective at being an adult.
Not being in porn, just
we were talking about the porno thing, and like as somebody who's got a foot in that world, like I own a couch.
Wait. Two things.
Like,
Nick, I don't think you have a foot in that world.
Yeah, you have other things in that world.
Yeah, there's a lot more things in that world.
Yeah.
Maybe a fist?
Yeah, a fist, a dick, whatever.
There might be a fucking room for a foot, too.
Exactly.
Yeah. Pretty gaping.
Depends how cavernous
the thing is, you can sign off on something before you do it. And as long as they stick to the contract on it and you don't read the contract.
Yeah, but fair enough. If you don't read the contract. No, fair enough. You don't read the contract, but it depends on how widely it's worded. Like, there's a certain point. If you word it, widely enough, you're going to like hit.
You keep saying wide. What sort of porn you watching?
Oh boy,
Nick's got a few things in the door. I've studied the psychology.
He's got a few things in the back door.
I've studied the psychology behind the scenes, not behind the,
not behind the ass.
Yeah. You know what I was always holding back on? I've been doing so many corporate clean shows, and I didn't know if I was allowed to swear.
Yeah.
And so you've noticed I've always been holding back.
Yeah, you said Jeepers Creepers a second ago. It's like, what the tiddlywinks, bro?
I honestly have been doing so many corporate clean shows, I forgot to swear. Like,
you just forgot how to swear?
Oh my God, you become a decent parent.
No, I've never been
not.
That.
Yeah, no one will accuse you of that, Sterling. Don't worry.
I will never be that.
Go to the parent-teacher conference. Oh, jinkies.
So for those of you who don't know, my son, he got in trouble again. Well, shoot, you probably don't even know the first time, but he got a second letter home, and the second letter home was because he peed on his friend in the bathroom. And when I asked him why he did it, he said, I don't know, it just felt right. Now, that for me.
How much R. Kelly you listening to at your house?
I don't know. I think he was probably born to it,
Remix to Ignition's a good song, but don't go peeing on people.
He did it.
But it's a dominance thing, right? Like now he owns that guy.
Well, I saw the kid and he's pretty pissable. You know what I mean? Like that kid deserves to be peed on. Like
some people are just toilets.
I'm just wondering what Scott Porteous was doing in the washroom.
No, because then Porteous would have wrote a letter apologizing for getting in the way of my son's piss. But I would have been like, why were you in the bathroom with my son with his dick out? I want to know Porteous.
Oh, poor Scott.
When I saw a movie at the movie theater, which is where you see him, and I was pissing at a urinal, and this little kid walked in, and he was at the urinal beside me, and he slipped and fell, and his head hit my leg. Jesus. And the first thing I thought was like, oh no, somebody's going to think I'm inappropriately touching their kid. So I just pinched it off and walked out of the washroom. It didn't matter that a kid just fell and smashed his head. I was like,
no, it doesn't, because
I'm like, I'm being framed.
No, exactly, because exactly how he explains it is how you go to jail.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh, my head touched the man with the red hair's penis, and then they'd be like, they look at Nick, take one look at Nick, and be like, yeah, he's going to jail.
Yeah, he's going to jail hard.
He's going to jail.
God damn it!
Look up your past and be like, oh my goodness.
Yeah. So it's like, God, that's a terrifying thing.
So was the kid unconscious?
Well, after I was done with him.
No, but the way you're saying it,
well, he seemed stunned.
Okay,
but I don't know how kids work. They're pretty durable. They bounce back.
They do.
Whatever.
They do.
You can try and kill them. It's hard.
Fuck. I'm gonna donate a sign to this place because I'm loving it so much.
So many.
There's for all of you guys who are not here to see the awesomeness of this room.
Everyone else.
There says talking to your mic, bitch. Then there's one that says explosive. He stole a sign that the handicapped people have outside their place where it's like deaf kids crossing. He has one. He stole it.
I believe that's
There's another one that's off the leash.
Head.
And the funny thing is, my comedy special is caution funny when drunk, and I'm gonna give you guys a sign. So
Great.
Be here. His mug says, "Trust me, I'm a ninja." There's
look at the clocks.
Says IKEA. What's that about? I don't know.
Look at the clocks. 4 clocks. None of them are right.
At some point in time, one of those clocks are going to be right.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes twice a day.
He has a poncho that God knows what it's been in.
Ponchos.
Yep. I got ponchos. I got
There's a crossbow behind me. For the love of everything good, there's a crossbow.
Oh, we're going to be hunting you later.
I know. That's how it ends. It's like, where's Scott Porteous? His glasses are trophies.
Yeah.
We covered this
next to his leather jacket.
But there's a whole freezer full of
see that
Scott
one?
Porteous.
That's the one that stabbed me. That's the one that stabbed me.
That's the one that stabbed you?
Yeah.
Okay, you got to tell me that story.
In the army.
Came alive.
You didn't know about that one?
No, could I tell that story, please?
Okay. I was at a party and there was a guy.
A knife party.
I feel like I'm so honored to be on this podcast because I didn't come here to talk about me. I came here to talk to you and your interesting life. And then Jamie and James are like the bonus. I'm like, oh my goodness, you two weirdos right here. This is going to be good.
Yeah. And
I'm in a basement where it looks like somebody said it puts lotion on the skin. Like,
no, the other side's even worse.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's where the punch bag
if
is.
somebody broke in here, they'd come in and be like, "Oh, I'm dead. That's what's gonna happen. I've been tricked."
Well, I need to escape now.
I think if I move that curtain, do people live under those stairs? Is that what happens?
Why don't you go over there and find out, Sterling?
Live is the wrong word.
Survive.
Yeah.
We like to
my
call
God.
this the confinement room.
Okay, so let's hear this knife story.
Okay, I was at this guy Mike Donnelly's party.
Utility knife.
Yeah, Mike Donnelly's party, and
That knife doesn't shoot, does it?
no, it's not a shooting knife.
It's a military utility knife, and then they put stuff in the bottom here.
So a little
for
survival kit. Yeah.
Right. And when this comes as a compass,
a little Mars bar in there.
There's survival compartments.
Yeah, I like knives too. If I wasn't such a busy schedule, I'd bring over my collection. That's how you know you're an immature male, by the way. If you have a knife collection or sword collection,
Swords, yeah,
you are
100%.
not mature. I also have gun collection, which I think we share in common.
we've got both those.
Yeah.
Oh, that one drawer, you would love it. It's full of bullets.
Oh, sweet.
I've got bullets on every floor of this bitch.
I try to keep 1,000 rounds in my house at all times.
Oh, I got that in shotgun
Little dime
alone.
bags full of bullets.
You got that in shotgun?
Yeah,
Jeez.
I got some 9
I have
mil
that
in there,
in
some
9
shotgun.
millimeter and
Oh,
in
I got
22 caliber.
There's 9 in there
But
and 22
caliber, everybody's got 1,000
20
rounds. They start at 500.
Buy them in a bucket. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But I got the whole stack of 9 in there, so
Eat them like candy,
Those are
right?
50s.
Yeah.
No, we shared a lot of interest that we just I don't know.
I bumped into Sterling a few times at fucking gun stores. Just buying bullets all the time. It's
I
like,
turned around and leave because I got scared because I don't want witnesses.
it was fucking funny because it was around Christmas like 2 years ago. I bumped into Sterling. He was hosting some fashion thing in the mall.
Yeah,
and I was like, hey Sterling. And the next day he's at a fucking store buying a crate of fucking 9 mil. It's like he goes from like suit and tie professional host to like gunslinging gangster the next day.
Funny thing is, I'm doing that transformation right now. I showed up to your house in a full jogging suit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna leave here in a dress pants and a button and thing and host a dating game. Hey, who's wants to date? Yeah.
Well, let's hear about this dating game. Let's talk about your project.
The dating game is honestly something that it was a project started by Connie's Comedy, and she came to me with the idea saying, "Why don't we do the dating game?" And I said, "Whatever."
You said,
and then you walked away from her laughing.
I'm certain you said money.
Yeah, exactly.
She started with money. I answered with, "Okay, I'm listening."
Yeah,
and,
there you go.
So we did it first at a bar called Crush Ultra Lounge.
Yeah.
And the first show had like maybe 20 people.
Ooh.
Not a lot, but they had so much fun that the next show had 65. And then after that it went to 80. And then those were the numbers. It was between 60 and 80 people per show.
Nice.
And then On the Rocks bought the show from them. And so now it's tonight, actually. They do it. This is the second time this happened.
Every Sunday night?
One, no, every once a month on a Sunday.
Okay.
So this is the second one. The first one did amazing. They had 80 people at the first show. And by the end of it, they had staff members wanting to be on the show. It basically is exactly what you think it is. You know, there's one bachelor or bachelorette on one side, 3 on the other.
Fuck 4
and
people.
I ask questions.
Yeah.
And then at the end of the show, they choose one, and then they go on a date. And actually, one of the third show I ever did, they came back they're still dating. And so, there's some fun to it. But some people are actually that desperate that they want to be hooked up by me. So if they're willing Cupid, to get hooked up, I wouldn't go as far as Cupid. I'd be more...
You're not going to put on a little diaper with some
I don't call it Cupid. I call it kind of like the same kind of love you find in a jail cell. It's more out of convenience than
okay. I don't know if it's convenience so much as a power thing. You got to figure out who's in charge.
Well,
so to these people, they've never heard of Tinder, right?
You know what? The average age is actually they're really old. So I don't know if they hold it. When you ask them if they heard of Tinder, they start breaking out fire and making
exactly.
What's really old?
Between the ages of 50 and honestly, the last guy I put on a date was 70.
Jesus,
yeah, man. I didn't know people banged that much.
That's where you're wondering if the well's still fucking pumping.
Apparently it is.
Well, that's when you have a lot of people dropping off, and then they're
you're free.
People being like, "Oh, I can't be lonely forever."
Yeah.
I don't know how to internet. Let's find another way to fuck things.
Old Jewish bankers getting hooked up, apparently.
What the fuck?
The funny thing is, it's more women. There's more women.
Because guys
because they outlive them.
Yeah, and I don't know, I can't wait till I'm old then. I'll be crushing
gonna be
it.
I
will be crushing it.
Yeah.
Those are going to be a glorious 5 years before you die, man.
Let's go in 5. I'm starting at 45 and I'm banging all the girls in their 30s. I have enough eggs or time to mess around. Okay? They are looking to get it.
If you keep growing that fro, you'll be like Reggie Watts then too. So that'll be the look.
Mine will be cleaner. I make the fro sexy. That's my ambition and goal. A lot of the guys, they grow their fros, they get big and they let it go wild, right? And they're like, this is my natural look. Nah, man, I want that primed and primed look. I want to look like a 1970s blaxploitation film. Like I can fight crime, pimp a hoe, and lay down the dick. That's the kind of afro I want to have. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What does your afro do? Pimps hoes.
With that hoe pimping afro.
That's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it rhymes. So you're actually going to be recording your second comedy special right away.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. My second comedy special, the actual title is called Jokeaholic, Caution, Funny When Drunk. But we'll just call it Jokeaholic.
Is it about your struggles with Jokeahol?
It actually the opening sketch? I don't want to ruin it, but for the 100 people listening, the opening sketch is actually like going to be like an intervention thing where it's like exactly like intervention except with jokes.
Yeah,
and because I've been in a lot of relationships where I was left because they're like, you never take anything serious, everyth's a joke.
They like you because of your sense of humor, but they leave you because of it.
That's how they start, exactly. Yeah. And with alcohol, they'll tell you you're an alcoholic if the alcohol affects relationships and work. And I've been fired from jobs and relationships because of my jokes. Oh. So I am a jokeaholic because my need to tell jokes has affected relationships, work, and family. Yeah. So I am a jokeaholic.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you could admit that.
The first step is admitting it.
The first step is admitting it.
Yeah. Welcome to Podcasters Anonymous.
I actually did last year.
Oh, jeez.
Alcoholics Anonymous downtown. I did.
Really?
I did.
Court ordered?
It's the weirdest. No, I performed.
Court ordered.
Which is even worse.
You performed. Okay,
I performed that one.
Did you have any drinks on your rider?
Oh my god!
I
just imagine
it is the weirdest show ever because you're in there with so many people with interesting stories that would have great ways of telling them if they were drunk, but they won't get back that way. Yeah. Like one guy gets up and he goes.
I just imagine he shows up to a meeting and he's like, "Hey, my name's Sterling. I'm doing a tight 5," and just goes right into it. They're like, "This is like
the Alcoholics Anonymous open mic."
Yeah, it's like everybody goes around and gets a tight 5
because everyone gets to tell their story, and the stories are more and more funny.
Oh, the stories are fucked up.
It's ridiculous. You're like, did you really do that? Like
my stories don't even compare to that. And I fucking killed 4 people yesterday.
Yeah, apparently. We're gonna have to hear about that part. But yeah, like it's real. Like their stories are like, oh yeah, you should stop drinking.
Yeah.
You did what? Yeah, you should stop. That's what you should stop. Yeah. One guy comes in and he goes, I got so drunk I robbed a bank. What?
Just now.
First of all, if you Don't blame the alcohol. You wanted to rob that bank. There's no time I've been drunk and had ambitions of grandeur. Like, I need enough money to do this forever. Let's go to Scotiabank. What, to pull out money? Well, you can call it that. Like, and second of all, how much day drinking did you do that you had the ability
Banks close at 5?
Exactly. That wasn't even happy hour drinking.
Exactly. God, that's borderline leaving Las Vegas. And you got to figure, how good of a getaway driver are you going to be? You're going to be smashing in every car in that parking lot.
If he already had a DUI and he had to blow into it. He's like, come on, we got to get out of here.
Or he just gets on a pedal bike.
Damn it. Did you have any of those drinks before you started? Yeah, you're an alcoholic. I know. That's why we're robbing the bank.
See, I've got a lot of problem people in my family, so I know the secret is you blow into it, you start it, and then you just drive it around all day while you get drunk and you don't turn it off?
Well, no, what they did in Toronto is now every 15 minutes you have to re-blow.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, that's what they did because apparently there's snitches.
Foiled
you. A lot of...
Apparently there's snitches.
Well, because a lot of the times when people are like, yo, how do we improve the system? It's the ex-alcoholics who are ruining it for everybody.
Those pricks.
Those jerks.
But it's Canadian stitches, stitches are covered by healthcare, so
apparently
they're gonna get them.
You actually are. If you get injured in Canada, they do send you a form and they will pay you money for being injured in a crime. That is a fact.
Yep.
So snitches do get stitches because we have free healthcare.
So you can be paid. Yeah. I had that when I got stabbed with a knife. I forgot to tell the story. When I got stabbed.
Oh my gosh. Let's go back to that story. Forget the special. This is more important.
I was at a party and my buddy Mike was there. It's his house and it was his 20th birthday party. We're all young and idiots. And this guy's walking around with Red Hot Chili Peppers' greatest hits and he's got these lines of blow on it. And he's walking around giving people blow. And my buddy's like, hey, get that out of my house. So they walk up and they're getting in each other's face. And I walk up in between and I'm drunk and I'm like, whoa, they're going to fight.
Were you going to rob a bank?
No. I wasn't that drunk. I was 2 beers away from it.
Later. Why are you going to get stabbed?
But so my buddy knocks a CD out of the guy's hand. The guy reaches in his jacket, pulls out that knife, and it looks like he's going to stab my buddy, but he turns and goes to stab me because I'm standing there, and that makes no. So I put my hands up, like boxing instinct. Hands went up. Knife goes into arm. I immediately black out. Okay, because I'm already pretty drunk. What happened was I yelled out, tomato sauce, swear to God. And I grabbed him and punched him in the face a whole bunch. He fell down and then I fell on him and then I was punching all around him, but he was unconscious and I'm just missing horribly. And then I got people pull me off. They put a towel around my arm. And the only thing that I remember from that is we're in the U of A parking lot in a car and I'm drinking a beer and they're like, you can't be drinking a beer. And I'm like, how did I get here? What's going on? Why do I have a towel on my arm? What happened? And they're like, you've been stabbed. I'm like, oh shit, we should go to the hospital. They're like, we're at the hospital. I'm like, I just fucking teleported.
Yeah, time warped.
I'm like, because I just went into a blackout and came out of it. And then, the police came and did an interrogation. We went to the hospital and they were like, how'd that happen? I'm like, cut myself shaving. And they were like, what? And then my friends were like, he's drunk. And I'm like, I am drunk.
Yeah. That is, dude, I'm going to be the first to say it. Nick McQuik in 2024 will be one of the most talked about comedians in the world because of how he died.
Yeah.
He is the Lenny Bruce of life comedy.
Hold on. That's why Lenny Bruce is well known because of his heroin death?
No. But his will be known for that.
Yeah. Oh,
okay. Every time I talk to Nick, it's always the best stories in the world. And then when he tells them on stage, I'm like, dude, I'm just entrapped in your stories because I know they're real.
You fucking busted a gut at that gay wedding story?
It's one of my favorite stories of all time.
That's a fucking...
It's one of my favorite stories of all time. The first story I ever loved was when your girlfriend left you on Christmas Eve. And he was crying in a bar.
Yeah.
And then
I got in a fight.
And then he gets into a fight.
Yeah.
And the reason why I loved it was the honesty in allowing yourself to be vulnerable enough to be a man on stage and say, yeah, no, my girlfriend left me on Christmas Eve. And no, I didn't be like, oh, I'm tough. One thing. You're like, nah, man, I went to a bar and I was crying. I was sad. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's Christmas. You know what I mean? Like, I heard that song. So this is Christmas. Yeah. And I'm looking at those kids like, you don't know pain. You know?
Exactly.
So for me, it was like, yeah. And the closer you get to being vulnerable, honest, and raw is pretty much the entire essence of your actual comedic voice.
Yeah.
Which is one of the hardest things to do. Finding your comedic voice is equivalent to like in Street Fighter when they got to find their chi and like, you got to shoot it out. You're shooting out chi,
gotta get
but
that
all
Hadouken.
over the place. Kind of like, on a girl's face, like chi. Oh, these are jokes?
Yeah.
I just thought thought these were paychecks. Chi.
My favorite part of those games where the guy goes, you got to get it out.
Yeah.
That's part of that game.
Yeah. Oh.
But yeah, man, that's an amazing story.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow, dude, when are you gonna tell that one on stage?
Yeah. When are you
eventually? I don't know. Recently, I've just been riffing. I've been playing with the audience and not telling jokes, and that's
a
work.
Skill. That's a very important skill.
Yeah.
So do that.
Yeah.
I try to teach a lot of the comics because there's a reality to being a stand-up comic that a lot of them don't get, and that's that you need a lot of skills that you can't learn in one room.
Yeah.
I tell them, you got to go to all the rooms. You've got to be master of all. You can't just be in one. You've got to learn crowd work.
Oh, you have to.
The easiest skill is how to be a middle, and that's what 5-minute sets do.
Yeah, you teach
how to be a middle.
You build your 20, and then you're good.
But that's just the first level, and a lot of them think, I'm a headliner now. I'm like, no, you don't even started. Once you know how to middle, then you got to know how to host.
Yeah,
because a host has to learn how to break the ice and be a middle. Then once you learn how to host, then you got to know how to headline.
Yeah.
Right? And you can't just go straight to headliner. You've got to be able to, a great headliner is an amazing host.
Yeah. Well, and there's different ways too. Like I've seen some audiences that aren't buying jokes, they aren't buying one-liners, but when you interact with them,
they crush.
And you can crush. So if you can make the jokes about them or invest them in a show another way. And for me, I looked at it like there's crowd work comics, one-liner comics, dirty comics, all these different forms of art. And like if you break it down and figure it out, like I never wanted to be the best at this or the best at that or the best at this. I wanted to try everything so that I've got all those tools in my toolbox so that when I need it, I can do crowd work. When you're taking your clothes off while I'm talking, it's weird. Well, I can do crowd work.
Let it happen naturally.
Yeah. And like, if crowd work isn't working, I've got stories. If stories aren't working, I got quick little jokes. If that isn't working, I got super dirty stuff that I can get a reaction from. Like you have to have tools in the toolbox. You can't just be going at it every day like it's the same thing because it's going to be different audiences.
And you learn all those tools when you're hosting. Because when you're hosting, you got to break the ice.
Oh,
you got to determine what kind of crowd you got, and you got to set the show up and maintain the tempo for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Speaking of hosting, you've got how many shows now?
I'm running 2. It's going to be 3 very soon.
Oh, okay. What's the third one?
So the third one will be, well, I mean, they say they want it. The meeting is actually this week. It'll be Tuesdays at Tilted Kilt by West Edmonton Mall.
Oh my God. That would be perfect.
Wow.
Every Tuesday. So I would have a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Start Sunday.
Have that start at 7:30. That'll be perfect. You'll get
is that the time that everything starts
no, because the draw's at 7 at the comic strip, and it's across the street. Nobody makes the draw. Big crowd comes over.
Yeah.
I was gonna do it. I believe that comics should do as many rooms as possible.
Yeah.
So if you notice, all my shows purposely start at 9:30. It's so that if you're a headliner, you could still make my show.
Yeah.
If you've done a spot, you could still make my show. I'm not one of those people who believe like, oh, don't go here, and if you're gonna go there, don't come here. Nah. I believe you need as much stage time as possible. I'm never offended for people leaving and going to other shows or people coming late in from other shows. I understand. It's not an easy process.
Well, I like Rouge. That's a good room because that's the sort of room. Like you go on stage and that audience won't give it to you. Like you have to earn it. You have to prove you're funny and they reset. And I don't know if it's the neighborhood or the vibe or what it is, but if you go up there and you're half-assing it, they're not buying it. You have to be funny.
100%. And I feel like the rooms mimic the people that started it.
Yeah.
And Rouge was started by me. And I always believe in giving 100%. You know, your job when you're a comedian is to make people laugh. That's what we do. It's what we love doing.
I've been doing it wrong.
And I've seen people, you know, back when I first started, there was a lot of guys who would go on, I don't care. I'm like, if you don't care, then don't go up. Like,
there's still a few guys.
I talked about that. There's one guy, and if I say his name, it's just making work for me to edit out who he is. But
I'll know who it is in a few seconds.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be hard to figure this out.
I'll figure it out.
He keeps quitting comedy and coming back and quitting, and then he goes. why am I not booked a headline? Why am I not booked a host? And it's like, nobody knows if you're doing it.
You're imitating him and it's going to sound...
yeah. But, and then the thing is, too, it's like, he goes on stage, he does the same thing, and you can see he gives up before he starts. He's afraid to fail, so he doesn't try. And it's like, man, you have to fail. You have to fucking fail. You gotta
And that's
lose.
one of the things that people don't get when I tell them you have to accept bombing.
Oh, yeah, you gotta bomb.
If you're not bombing, you're not growing. Because all the shit that you fucking do on stage when you bomb becomes where your fucking that flower grows in from, which is your comedy, you know?
Well, and the thing, too, is, like, you can go on stage and tell jokes and bomb, and your jokes don't work, and you're like, that sucks, and you failed, and it feels bad. But when I go on stage and I tell a true story about me, and I open up to the audience, and they don't react at all, holy fuck, that just feels like they're like, we hate you.
And here's the thing, there's two different kinds of bombing too. The bombing you're doing is that I tried to give you guys a piece of me and make it funny.
Yeah.
And then there's the guys where I'm like, did you think that was fucking funny when you woke up this morning? Did you really think that was going to make people laugh? Did you say that in your head and then say, this is going to work? You know, and I'm like, they waste their time on stage.
The thing is, I record all my sets and I listen to them and like I put in the work off stage. I think a lot of people are just like, yeah, I could talk about McDonald's. And then they're just like, and it seems like a lot of people, like, I mean, I understand. Everybody's got priorities. Everybody's got a life. You got to do your stuff. You got to put food on your table. Not everybody, comedy's their full-time job. But still, like, when you go on stage, if you're calling yourself a comedian, put some work in. Put some effort in. And I mean, like, I started writing for a talk show. I'm writing sketches. I'm a head sketch writer on a TV show, and I'm a panelist.
You want a free preview?
Yeah.
Not the proper.
But, I'm a panelist on a talk show too, and I'm starting all this other stuff. But you know what? My card says comedian. That's what I do. And I told them when I took the job, I'm like, I do comedy. These are the times I'm available. If you can't work around that schedule, I'm not doing it. And they were like,
I got fired from 22 minutes.
Well,
not that way.
I was going to say,
but
whatever happened with that?
Well, basically, when the Christmas season came, like I was on a 2-week contract. I was
it's a fucking short contract.
Yeah, but I ended up staying like the whole year as awesome. On the staff. But when the Christmas time came, I was like, hey guys, like I started in September, and then it's November now, and I'm still there, and I'm like, hey, I have a lot of corporate gigs. I'm going to have to go.
Corporate comedy pays good.
So I left. Yeah, corporate comedy pays. And plus, it's like I made those contracts a long time ago. I don't like to break contracts.
Yeah.
So then when I left, they just said, all right, Sterling, you can write from home. But anything that doesn't get produced, you don't get paid. And then so that's why I was working my butt off to try to make sketches get produced from home. But then after the year was done, it's like, all right, cool. Thanks for doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you're not part of the squad. You're gone. So I don't blame them. It was a great time. I recommend anybody if they can do it, do it. Jesus, Murphy, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, really? 22 minutes?
Yeah. The experience.
Yeah.
All right.
The experience.
It's not a show that I watch regularly, but I mean,
it's not a show many people don't watch.
You don't have 40 minutes. You don't have 40 minutes every day to watch 22 minutes.
It's it's definitely has its own audience.
For sure.
Well, I find it so
the elderly
difficult.
Need something to do.
For me,
that's exactly who the audience is, because
the elderly.
They write letters, and I've been on the show and watched as they brought up. Okay, so guys, we had that sketch that people liked, but we got a letter, and our lawyer said we've got to cut it out. And
wow,
yep,
like
sketches get cut like that.
Like what kind of stuff would people complain about?
All right, so I try to remember how it went, but basically the gist of it was the bunch of women are in a circle and they're opening up gifts, and this one lady opens up her gift, and she pulls out a whistle. And she's like, what the hell is this? And she's like, it's a rape whistle.
Oh, there you go. There you go. That's where the letter comes from. You can't say whistle.
And then, and then it cuts to whatever the punchline, the rest of the stuff is, right? You know, like gifts women need or something like that. And
Of course. Right.
That one got an immediate no. Our lawyers saw that. Yeah, so basically the writing and all the stuff goes through lawyers.
Yeah.
And then comes back.
Well, that's the difficulty with me too, because I'm writing, and the people I'm writing for, like, I have to write the opening monologue and then little jokes and stuff, and I got to write for a city councilor as the host.
Oh my
and
goodness.
Then elected MLAs are on, so I have to write.
Oh, those are the worst.
I have to write jokes that don't have an opinion or a side or a victim. So I have to write 40 jokes to get one joke.
What I like is that, Sterling, you're bringing up your long-standing hatred of MLAs.
I'll tell you,
so notorious.
Behind that is that I host a lot of things in the city.
Yeah.
That where I work alongside MLAs, and so, like I host Black History Month. I've hosted, like Youth in the Park.
I do have a question. Mm-hmm. What is the event for Black History Month that you host? Is it like an awards thing? Or
I host the actual opening ceremonies every year.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, where's that it's typically in West Edmonton Mall, in that big area where it's by the HMV. Yeah. So I host the opening ceremonies there. I've done it for 3 years now. I've hosted for every Caribbean association their banquet on their Independence Day. I hosted the Kerry West. And MLAs are at all of those. Before the guy was our mayor, what is his name? Don Iverson?
Yeah, Don Iverson.
Before he was the mayor, when he was trying to be the mayor, when he was in the runnings, I didn't know how tall he was. I was making fun of him and everything. Because he's like about 6'8".
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, and his wife is really short.
That's how big guys like him, you know?
Yeah. Don't know how to take that. You guys?
Stand-up blowjobs.
You guys?
Stand-up blowjobs.
Yeah, that's true. Stand-ups do love short women for stand-up blowjobs.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm kidding.
But I also have those events that you have to work alongside them, and you do have to deal with all that crap. And it sucks because it sucks the fun. I have to do it with like the chief of police. And,
Rob necked.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Of course.
So now you've been to Kerry West in the past. Yes. I don't know if you were there years ago. You may or may not have been. I don't know what you're up to. Where there was a float, and they were throwing out to the audience, like the people watching the parade, porno mags.
Oh my goodness!
Do you remember that?
No.
Yeah. Like basically, like it weren't full on fucking, but like there was a lot of nudity, and it was like right along Jasper. I remember this. This was probably like 2004 to 2006, somewhere in that range.
Okay, that was a little bit before I was in Edmonton. I came to Edmonton in about 2007
from
Toronto.
Yeah,
Scarborough. Yeah.
Scarborough.
I just remember when you moved here. And
Scarborough's a rough.
I've been here 10 years, so 2005 was my first year.
Scarborough's about as rough as it gets out there. I would like, I say
Scarborough is one of the rough areas, but it's like, here's how I feel. I feel like the people that get in problems in those cities are people that are involved in the problems. Like, I don't know any innocent bystanders.
Because when I was in Scarborough, back there, because I just did that Eastern tour in Toronto and all that. When I was in Scarborough, we stopped and we got gas, and like I'm getting gas, and there's all these drunk people, and they're just hanging out.
Sounds like you were down on Kingston Road in Lawrence.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we were on Kingston. On Kingston.
I'm like drunks. Yeah. Kingston Road in Lawrence.
But they were drunk by the gas station. They're buying Doritos and stuff. And then this car pulled up, and these guys got out, and it didn't like stop at the gas pump. It stopped at the end, and they got out, and I'm pumping gas. And then the one guy starts yelling at the other guy, and like they just fucking brawled. And I'm like pumping gas, just like, this isn't me. I'm not involved in this.
But yeah, they didn't attack you.
I'm
what I mean was like you have to be involved in this stuff.
Yeah, but when a car just pulled up.
No, but this is personal between these guys, man. It's fine.
Personal. Yeah. I'm telling you, most of the
I didn't buy Doritos though. I was like,
then don't get fucking involved with Doritos, man. You'll be fine.
Everybody that bought Doritos got in a fight.
Exactly. You see?
What the hell is wrong with Scarborough?
There's a pattern.
What the fuck is up?
Look, it's
Doritos have GMOs, and that guy was a vegan.
Was super passionate.
He was like, dude, those are GMOs. You gotta get that out of my community. And he said, no way. It's cheesily delicious.
Yeah.
And then it's fight time.
Yeah.
Well, Scarborough is still better than Open Wound Borough, so.
That's nobody.
I never knew.
That's nobody's reasons but the Turks.
You know,
fuck you.
I'm glad you got to see the borough. That's where I'm from. I was born there.
Making that joke in the first place. Yeah, you're from there, man.
We're one of those immigrants stealing all our jobs.
I am an immigrant.
Taking those comedy jobs. I feel like though you've earned it, man. Like you have.
I'm a full on 100% Edmonton comic though. I started comedy in Edmonton.
But you also have like the most hustle. There's a few other comedians who are around that level. I'm not gonna say who is the most, maybe, but you're one of the harder working ones in terms of like having things on the go. I'll give you that. Nothing
think,
else though.
I think Sterling hates having a day job so much that's where it's also
he has to work so goddamn hard to avoid having a day job.
And you guys don't know how right you are. I'm telling you.
You are the hard-working lazy guy.
In the oil fields. I worked in warehouses. I've done everything. And I could tell you right now, every single day when I wake up, it's how do I avoid that? Like I never want to go back to that. I never
want to go back to warehouses.
And like I've done like the most garbages. I hate those jobs. Some people, I admire people who work in the oil fields who are like, I've been doing it 12 years. I did it like 4. And I was like, I'm ready to kill people. Yeah, because they have
a strong word.
They're like an ant. You know what I mean? Like they have that
lift
ability
10 times their weight. They just keep going.
Yeah. They do. And I'm like, no, I wake up at noon. I take naps every day. Like, no.
Is that why you're so rested?
No.
That's why he's got so much energy on
This is why you see me take 5-hour energies is because I didn't get my nap and fuck that. I need my nap. So if I don't get my nap, I need to get 5-hour energy, tequila, and vodka. That's my wake up juice.
Yeah, there you go.
And that's how I wake up.
That's actually a typical waking up potion.
Yeah.
It works. Potion of +1 waking up.
Yeah.
It does. And it's amazing. It's how I get it in. Jamie, you've been so quiet.
Sometimes I am.
Jamie, for all you guys who don't know, Jamie is the equivalent of if you've ever had like a hot librarian that you wanted to bang when you were in grade 7. That's Jamie, right?
Yeah.
So she's the one that if she took off her glasses and told you shh, you'd be like, oh yeah. Yeah. Jamie's like the hot. She's the like
Nerd
I didn't
bitch.
know you were hot until you wanted to be hot. Like she's one of those girls.
Oh, like one of those chicks that is like, oh no, you could never like. Basically, I forget.
You're 2 head shakes and a smile from like making me say you want to get on that couch and make a movie.
Would you mind waiting till we're off the couch, Sterling?
Could you stop fucking Jamie on top of us?
Yeah.
Like if Jamie was a redhead, she would remind me of the girl from the Breakfast Club.
Oh yeah, Molly Ringwald.
Yes.
Molly Ringwald
with red hair. You don't see it? Red hair, take away glasses, boom. That's what Jamie looks like. But put brown hair with glasses, that's who it is.
Yeah.
And I always laugh when I see her because then when she goes on stage, the things that come out of her mouth, I'm just like, yes, this is what I want to hear.
Sweet.
The first time I saw Jamie on stage, she said that she threw up on a dick.
I did.
And I fell over laughing. Because I expected her to go up and read a poem or something.
She doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't have that look. I thought you were
gonna say something like, women's rights, right?
Well, I care about those things.
I know you do, but you're about, I like that joke for me is sexual liberation. It's letting, you're not. I hate when people like make it. I know. I hate when people try to make a woman who is sexually independent and active make them seem like they're bad. It's like, get the hell out of here.
That's the thing is I was trapped in a 12-year relationship, got out of the 12-year relationship, needed to cover some fucking lost time.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
And then it was just like,
it's called playing catch up.
Then you just get a lot of stories out of it.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm not going to have my old Catholic upbringing tell me I'm a terrible person, so I have to tell everyone and be like, you still accept me, right?
Yeah. As long as you repent, we're all good.
Yeah. You can repent right on your knees with the same way you can repent the same way you started the sin on your knees.
I don't remember Hail Mary.
I feel like this isn't the Catholic Church, though.
No.
You think my basement isn't a Catholic church?
No, are you sure?
I feel like this is where the Last Supper will be held, though.
One of those churches where they murder people.
Yeah, there's a lot of Last Suppers here.
You think this bomb shelter isn't a church?
In fairness, I don't think Nick feeds the people he keeps down here, so...
Well, I feed them to dogs.
Oh, that's true. But those dogs have a lot of suppers.
Yeah, exactly.
You should have a website and post pictures, just the pictures. It looks like a crime scene.
Yeah,
the way it looks down here.
You could do a fucking American Apparel photo shoot down here. It looks so fucking evil. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, fucking perfect.
I gotta say, guys, I was a little nervous because I was like, what the hell are we gonna talk about tonight? What is your podcast even about? And I have had so much goddamn fun.
It's just
what's the
talking.
name of your podcast and how do I?
I wasn't going to care about this.
I wasn't going to care about this
until I realized it was fun.
I'd like to hear more of you guys talk.
It's like sometimes we have on guests that are fucking incredible. Like when Howie Miller was on, that guy is a goddamn riot.
Howie Miller.
TV's Howie Miller. TV's Howie Miller.
God, yeah, because Dharma, what is it? Marta.
Yeah, Marta.
Delmer and Marta.
Yeah,
it would be funny with Dharma and Marta.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him. It's really hard to make it in Canadian entertainment because we don't like to entertain.
Yeah.
Well, apparently we get upset with one letter.
Yes, they do. That's a real thing. There's a section. Here's how funny this is. We came downstairs from the writer's room to the studio where the show is shown live. Yeah. Basically why it's called This Hour is 22 minutes. We film 1 hour. We show 1 hour. And then we cut it down to 22 minutes.
Yeah.
So it's actually a live show on Monday. And then the actual show is broadcast on Tuesday. Anything the audience laughs at on Monday goes up on Tuesday. And there's a section as you come in for the audience where it's parking for walkers.
What?
Yes, there's a parking area in the building where old people can come in and park their walkers, and it goes along the wall, and they can park up their walkers, and then they go in and sit down.
How do they figure out who gets the handicap spot?
That's the front row. Yeah, that's called the row of shame. That's what
rolling row.
I want to fucking go in there and just loosen all of the bits of the walkers while everybody's sitting down. And then they all come out.
You kill 70% of their audience. Yeah. What you do. It's a real thing, though.
It's called inevitability.
You're doing God's work.
That's what you're doing.
I like to play God.
Well, like
that's a real thing.
I did this talk show, and holy crap, man. Talking about politics on television, who would have guessed that so many people have so many fucking strong opinions on this stuff?
Well, have you seen Facebook with, being in Alberta,
man.
I could not believe how passionate people were about the whole NDP conservative thing. Literally, one guy was like, the NDPs have been in power 1 day, and these are the stats, like, jobs have been dropped 80%. We're now in debt, and someone killed someone. It's like, NDP, this is all your fault. I'm like, yo, if it was my first day on the job, I didn't do that. All right, I didn't come in and start. Yeah,
you're like, I'm still trying to get my fucking name on the door.
I didn't even get sworn in yet. You know what I mean? Could you imagine your first day? You're sitting in your chair, and it's like, what happened? You just made all this happen. I just sat down. Like I didn't even give me a year.
Exactly.
Well, that's like if you look at like classic fucking George Bush sinking the states, and then Obama gets it, and it's like things are getting better, but it's still not great, and people are like, Obama's ruining it. It's like, if you are on a boat and the boat is sinking and somebody's bailing it out, and everybody's just sitting there going like, he's doing it wrong. He's doing it wrong.
That's exactly
what it is. It's my first day bailing this out. I didn't drive into the iceberg.
You guys are digging holes as I'm talking. Like you're digging holes. And the funny thing is, this is the thing. There's going to be a lot of backlash for this one for all your listeners. There's a lot of talk in the news about Alberta and losing jobs and stuff like that. Since that, I can tell you right now, I have a lot of friends in the oil field. It's all lies. I don't know anybody losing their job. I know lots of guys making tons of money who are like, dude, no one's even the only people that we lay off are people who suck. You know what I mean? Like if you're a bad employee, which is really difficult to do out in the oil field, you get laid off. But I remember when the recession happened. Do you guys remember
2008?
The Canadian? Yeah. I was working in the oil fields at that time, and I was full-time employed, and I took home $80,000 that year working in the oil field during a recession as an apprentice.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, what recession are we dealing with? And then everybody, here's the thing about that whole talk. I believe personally, Alberta does that on purpose so that nobody from the East Coast comes here for work. I think that's what it is.
Guys, we got a letter. We got a letter. Surely we gotta cut that.
Oh my God! We have a letter. We have a letter from the future.
Came through time.
That much.
But what was I saying? Oh, we cut that out.
Sterling Scott.
Sterling, what was it that finally like pushed you over? Like, were you doing comedy and working?
Yes.
Okay, and then what was it where you were just like, I fucking can't have a job anymore?
All right, this is gonna come back and bite me in the ass, but
okay, let's say it without any names then.
No, this is gonna be like, I just thought of it and I was like, yeah, that was the moment, and I've never told anybody this story.
Oh, nice.
And it has nothing to do with anybody that does comedy, but I'm gonna tell you guys a story that I'm telling you now. So that when it comes out, when I'm famous, you'll be like, yeah, no, he didn't care about that. He told that story.
Yeah.
All right, here it goes.
You're already thinking about being blackmailed.
Yeah.
Yeah, gotta get out of the
all
way.
right, here we go. So my last job was working at a gym. And while I was working at the gym, I didn't hate the gym because they gave me a 2-day shift. And at 7:30, I'd always sneak out the back door so I can get to shows on time.
Yeah.
All right. So I didn't mind it. But I mean, I was still like on that bridge of becoming pro, but not, in that weird place. And so there was times when, I wanted to, get out of this. And I didn't do well at the gym. So, I didn't make any sales. I didn't get any bumps. And this guy walks in and he goes, hey, would you ever do modeling? And I said, yeah. And then he goes, yeah. And I'm like, all right, well, he's like, I'll pay you $300. And I was like, to do modeling? Like, yeah. Would you mind taking your shirt off? I'm like, no, not at all.
Did you have to wiggle your toes for him?
Wait. Oh, boy.
Oh, my God. That's a good friend of mine, so I get that. But so then I go to the shoot. And
then he gets you to say yes 3 times.
It was he's like, yo, it's like a shoot. The way he explained it was that it's a shoot for couples that want like a calendar for each other, but like I'm just like in the background. So basically I went to the shoot, like a boudoir shoot, but like there's somebody in the background kind of. So basically what it was, and I'm not lying, it was like about a 50-year-old woman in negligee.
Oh, shit.
And me in my underwear, and like she's like crawling towards me, or like
some weird
I'm on a couch. Exactly.
Oh, man,
so like when you're doing the shoot and you feel dirty, like you're like I'm in my underwear and like I'm in like a couch by the fireplace and she's like crawling on her knees towards me. Like those were the kind of shots that we did, and
oh boy.
After I got paid, I actually took that money and I made from my last pay. I took my paycheck and that $300 and I made the thing that I wear on my neck that says one night only entertainment.
Golden ticket.
This was a symbol of I'm never going back to a day job.
Oh my God, no kidding.
I don't ever want to be in this 9-to-5 racket. I don't want to be. For some reason, I blame the job I was in for this. But I felt like I was so embarrassed. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, when this comes out and,
hopefully
that day poster. I said, fuck, I don't want to ever have to depend on a day job or anything. I'm going to depend on my own hustle. Yeah. And I don't know, but I don't know why I blame the job for that. But what I like because that's where it happened. I just blamed the job. And then that was the day I said, I'm never going back. I'm never going back. Mainly because that guy had a membership at the gym. I didn't want to see him again.
Kidding.
And so, I quit. I quit. And that day I was like, I just never went back.
I do find
that's where that was my changing point. That was it's going to come out.
Man.
I do find it interesting.
Find that fucking
I do find it interesting you're referring to this calendar shoot as a day job.
Yo, man. It happened in the day. I got paid.
All I know is I'm a trans ginger because I'm translucent and ginger. Not the Blurred Line song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you see, that's how white you guys are. I didn't even know that was a song.
Oh, yeah. It doesn't.
I don't like dialogue. I just want to get straight to the fucking, and I just want this to be over with.
Oh, I need a complicated story and somebody bleeding before I can get even hard.
What the hell have we been talking about?
I don't know.
5 Hour Energy and Saks underwear should so sponsor me.
Wow, I guess. Oh my God, you don't know?
SAXX.
It's got a pouch, man. It is the most comfortable underwear I've ever worn.
I don't even have to say anymore. Like, are you kidding me?
It's first of all, it's Are we recording? Yeah, we are. It's antimicrobial. So
so you never have to, like Sam's jeans.
Yeah, I didn't even know we were recording. Even better. All right.
Yeah, sacks are they're super comfortable. Yeah. They're like kind of a boxer brief. They keep your junk close to you so it doesn't juggle around.
Oh yeah, like that old saying, you keep your chunk close and your
and your dick closer. Yeah.
And your dick's closer.
Yeah, but
my enemy in that.
It's got a little pouch in the front.
Yeah, you put your boys in the pouch.
You load up the pouch.
You know, yeah,
like a kangaroo.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's nice.
But you have something more precious than a baby.
It's like it's the ability to make many
millions
babies.
of possible babies.
Exactly.
Schrodinger's babies.
It's actually an inside-out fanny pack for your dick and balls that goes straight into that.
Batman had a fanny pack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, what's up? This is Sterling Scott, and I'm trapped in a basement at the Quick and Slow podcast. Hey, my special's coming out January 17th at the Citadel Theater. You can get tickets online at thecitadeltheater.com. There's only $25 each. Tickets are going fast, so please come on down. Sunday, January 17th, Jokeaholic.
Okay, guys, as always, our music is done by Ben Sound, audio touch-ups and engineering done by Triptych Winter. Thank you very much for listening to the podcast. We had a wonderful time making it. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to it. If you could go to our Facebook page and hit like on that, or Twitter and follow us or some such, it actually kind of helps out. Or if you're on iTunes, like, favorite, subscribe, rate, review, I don't know, do something. Just do things, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay, knock, knock, guys.
That's a normal thing.